Throwing with our arm is one of the biggest beginner mistakes that a lot of golfers make, and so much so that a lot of times it carries through from the beginning stages to intermediate and even into some advanced disc golfers' careers. And that's because when we pick up a disc, we are naturally inclined to throw it. And so when we think of throwing, we think of throwing with our arm. And if you struggle with throwing with your arm when throwing a disc, I'm here to tell you that all hope is not lost. You have the opportunity to address this problem, correct it, and never go back to it ever again. Hey everybody, what is up? It's Antonio. Welcome back to another episode here on Gladiator Disc Golf. So let's go over how you know you're throwing with your arm and then how to fix it. Well, the first thing you want to pay attention to is pain. Now, we're not talking about soreness here. If you just played 36 or 48, 72 holes over the course of a weekend or a couple of days. We're talking specifically here about pain. It hurts to open a door. It hurts to lift your arm, like actual pain in your shoulder, in your elbow, in your forearm. Another way to know that you're throwing with your arm is if your release point is inconsistent. Now, I know there's a lot of discussion about this term release, so let's just define it real quick. Basically, what I mean when I say release is when the disc leaves your hand. One thing that I have found more often than not when I'm throwing with my arm is that I lose my balance. I almost feel like I'm spinning like a top. Now, what's normally happening here in this situation has very little to do with the ground and whether or not you're slipping, but when all your momentum is going into your arm and your arm is leading the throw, when your arm finishes, the rest of your body is going to spin, and that's going to cause you almost to complete a revolution around your plant foot. So now that we know how to diagnose whether or not we're throwing with our arm, what are some ways that we can fix it? The first one is to engage your hips. When you get your lower body involved in the throw, you greatly reduce just how much of your arm you're using. I really like this drill to help with that. The next way to avoid throwing with your arm is to actually focus on your back. By focusing on using your back to throw, you tell your body to ignore your arm. It sounds weird, but I promise it works. Focusing with your back on your spin and your follow through is going to help that arm naturally follow its course, and you won't even be thinking about throwing with your arm. Another way to help with your back is your non-throwing arm, or what I like to call your trail arm. Take your trail arm and you want to bring that into your side while you're throwing before the disc actually crosses your body. By doing that, you're tightening your back and you'll naturally have the disc start coming forward. And fourth, but certainly not least, and honestly probably the most important, is to keep your throwing arm loose. It must be relaxed for all of this to work. If you are tense and you're clenching and you're squeezing the disc and you're flexing your muscles, that's all going to ruin everything. No matter how much you get the rest of your body involved, if your throwing arm is not loose, you will not be able to throw consistently without hurting your arm. So depending where you are in your disc golf journey, you may have to break a lot of habits to really improve your backhand form. And that's why I encourage you to take this video, save it, and really make sure that you go through it multiple times to relearn and work on so many different parts of your throw. And since everyone's in a different part of their journey, some of this may apply to you, some of it may not. And so what's great is that you can always come back and relearn or refocus your attention on a specific skill to help you improve your backhand throw. And over and above all, please, please, please record yourself when you throw. And if you need a little bit of help, send me a video on GiveGo and I can give you direct instruction on how you can improve your disc golf form. Until next time, everyone, have a great round.